operations manager. So you've probably seen my name a lot when I'm reaching out to you for logos, exhibitor operations, that kind of thing. We also have a couple of other people on the call today that will be assisting with answering some of your questions in different specific areas. So to give a quick introduction to them, we have Ahad. Is Ahad on the call? Yes. Perfect. So we have Ahad, who's the chair of our steering committee, who'll be giving just a quick update on Grid Edge and give you some details on what sets Grid Edge apart. So he'll be leading off here in a few minutes. We also have Rachel with MDG that will be giving answering some of your questions and giving updates on how to promote your booth and some of the opportunities that we have for graphic download that you can add to email signatures, social media, all of that. And then we also have Gemma with Freeman, who is here to help answer questions on material handling, labor, furniture ordering, anything that you can do through Freeman. Okay, so without further ado, I will go ahead and hand the reins off to Ahad. Ahad, if you wanted to go ahead and give your update.
Sure. Thanks, Chelsea, Sean, for setting this meeting up, and thank you everyone for joining. My name is Ahad Ismailian, and my day job, I work as a volunteer for IEEE. That's how IEEE runs most of its events. My day job, I am Vice President of Clean Energy with Audubon Engineering, and in this role with Grid Edge Technologies, I'm supporting PES leadership by chairing this brand new event. As you guys might have seen email from me or from the team, this is a brand new event. We are trying to set us apart both from the content and from the type of participants. As you may see in the slide deck, we are covering different areas from grid modernization, EVs, smart cities, IoTs, on the technology side, smart grid and others, and then also looking into policies and how business intelligence and data management can also support transforming the grid into what is more broadly known as grid of future, which obviously encompasses a whole lot of different elements into it. Chelsea, can you go to the next slide?
Yes, I can.
So as you might have seen from our exhibit floor map, we have identified 4 major themes for the event around grid modernization, grid connectivity, distributed resources, and smart cities. And then we have run multiple call for participations. We have reached out to some of the leaders in the industry to form super session, technical panels, individual presentations. Some of the names I see here, I know that you guys have, in addition to exhibition, you guys have one way or another participation in the panels or individual presentations. Some of the stuff that you might have not seen it, or if you haven't really drilled down into the full technical program, is around more around the startups. One of the areas where we wanted to kind of separate ourselves from the other events is like we would want to portray these events in a long term as where we are not only talking about state-of-the-art technology today, but also put a heavy focus on what is next. And that's where we wanted to kind of differentiate ourselves. And as it comes with IEEE, which is the largest technical nonprofit association of any kind worldwide, IEEE, as I say I tend to believe that I'm also an IEEE employee, which I'm not. IEEE has always been about as much technical as it can get. So in this particular event, we want to mixture that with the commercial and business aspects of it, and that's why we do have exhibit floor to begin with. So I think we try to keep a balance between the technical side and the commercial side. So and then to ensure our exhibitors going to get the full experience and the full exposure to everything, and then the attendees get the full exposure to all our exhibitors. What we did is, like, during the hours where the exhibit floor is open on April 12 and April 13, there is no other event happening outside. So that helps. And each of these stages are, and as you have seen already from the floor map, it's at one corner, and then startup stage is at the middle. So you would see pretty much all attendees, unless they are sleeping in their hotel rooms. If they come to the event, they are going to be at the stage, at the floor, walking in between the aisles, listening to the stages, coming and listening to you guys who are going to talk with them about your company and so on. So that's maybe yet another area where we wanted to differentiate ourselves to provide the full exposure to the exhibitors from the attendee side. Do you mind going to the next slide if there is one? So yeah, that's where I think there is another area where we set ourselves apart. As I told you, we reached out to some of the most prominent leaders in the industry, whether they are from big tech, guys like Jeff Blayden from Meta, or we're talking about investor-owned utilities. We have CEOs, CTOs, SVPs from some of the most prominent companies and utilities across US. And then also we have quite a lot of the technology provider, the vendors who are some of the biggest companies here in US and worldwide. We do have folks from more policy and regulatory side as well. You see CAISO CEO, you see NERC, Mark Lobby from NERC, and so on. So the list continues. It's like, if you go to the next slide, you also see some other names here. Again, you see from DOE, you see from ex Moonshot Factory of Google, you see from one of the super sessions that we are very proud of. It is our public power perspective. I think it could be a very unique session. And when you think about these leaders coming and speaking, there are hundreds and hundreds of attendees and more than 100 of other speakers from the utilities, from these companies, these utilities and beyond, who are also participating. Again, I think one other area where I think we could set ourselves apart from many other exhibit events is like the balance of the utilities and the balance of the vendors. Like many times you go in the events that are more than 10,000 attendees, and then if you ask them behind the scene to give you a mixture, a demographic of the to 80% are from the vendor side. So, and I don't think you guys as exhibitor would be as much interested to necessarily talk to another exhibitor rather than talking to utility or others who would be your customers in this case. So again, I think that would be another area where we are very proud to set ourselves apart. Can you go to the next slide, Chelsea? Mm-hmm. So this is just a snapshot of who have been participating, whether as an exhibitor, attendee, and speakers. The list is way, way beyond and above this. These are like maybe some of the prominent names that you could see, like the top level, just more geared toward the vendor side, followed by big tech, followed by rows and rows of utilities are attending. Then at the last row, you see some of the regulatory and policy entities that are also participating. Next slide, Chelsea. There is any.
I think that is all for you, for your section, Ahad. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So one thing I forgot to mention before we got started is if anybody has questions as we kind of go through this slide deck, you have a couple of options to ask those questions. You can either drop it in the chat and someone from our team will respond to you in the chat, or if it's more of an extensive question that has a follow-up, after our slide deck is done, we will open the floor for you guys to ask questions verbally as well. So those are your options. Drop them in the chat. Otherwise, I will keep going. All right, so this slide is just kind of a week at a glance. It's got the major buckets that will probably pertain to you guys and what you're interested in. You'll see we have reg hours Monday through Thursday. And just like Ahad was talking about, the education sessions, if you look at this second row here in blue, If you compare that with the expo hours, you'll notice that education sessions coincide with expo hours. So those technical sessions that you're seeing, or technology stages in that education sessions section, are those education pieces that are happening on the expo floor. So those are all happening during dedicated exhibit hall time. Setup and dismantle hours are on here as well as EAC access. If you have anyone that's going to come in and set up or dismantle your booth for you, they will need to abide by these EAC access hours. They're allowed in the exhibit hall pretty much at any point during setup and dismantle, just not show hours. We also have the exhibitor service center that will be available from 8 to 5 Monday through Wednesday while you guys are setting up, and then from 8 to 10 while you're breaking down on Thursday. Anybody that is needing, or any EAC that is needing to access the floor will need to submit a certificate of insurance, which I will cover a little bit later on in this deck. And they will also need to get a wristband from security before they have access to the show floor. I believe we are still working on a location for picking up wristbands, but we'll make sure to communicate that with you a little bit closer. All right, so I'm going to start with registration details, just because this is one of the things that I think saves a lot of exhibitors on site. If you haven't already, make sure that you log into your exhibitor portal to register your staff, just so that you can save some time in picking up those badges on site. One of the really nice things about Grid Edge that actually doesn't happen very often is all of your exhibitor badges are also full conference badges. So any staff that you register will have access to the entire Grid Edge conference. Also, if you would like to invite any of your customers, you do get a significant discount on registrations as well. We're offering a utility saver package, so you can send up to 10 utilities for $1,000 or 5 for $750. We have some additional details available on the website. I've linked a couple of things in this slide deck, which will be uploaded along with the recording on the website after we're done here. So if you need to refer back, or if you have any additional questions or would like to read up on anything that you see in here, it will all be available on the website as soon as this is over. Registration hours pretty much follow the flow of the conference. You can read the hours here. Location is going to be right here in Hall A, B1 lobby. So that is right at the front of the exhibit hall next to the entrances. You have one entrance here next to Hall A and one entrance here next to Hall B1. And registration is going to be a big counter right here in the middle, so you can't really miss it. All right, so stepping back a little bit to look at the facility information and additional locations as to where things are going to be. This is a layout of the San Diego Convention Center as a whole. There is, as a note, a mezzanine level here in the middle, but I don't believe we have any activations or anything on that mezzanine level. The majority of the conference is going to be on the ground level and on the upper level. So ground level here, we have registration, which I just mentioned here in the lobby. Exhibits are located in halls A and B1. And then up on the upper level, we have our super sessions and then our breakout sessions. And then technology stage education is going to be back down here in the exhibit hall. I've also just added a couple of arrows so that you guys can have a frame of reference for where hotels are in reference to the convention center. So to the left is the Hilton, to the right is Marriott and the Hyatt, and then right here in the middle, I believe southward is the Gaslamp District. All right, so this is just an overview of some additional on-site locations that you might need. If you are needing to, access Mother's Lounge or the security office or Wi-Fi, things like that. These are just kind of an overview locations. I won't go through them one by one, but just some important ones to note. The exhibit show office is going to be the Hall A show office. So that is If you are on the floor and you need myself or Sean for any reason, you can come visit the show office. And we also have another option for getting a hold of us on site as well, which I'll detail here in a few minutes. All right, so this kind of goes back to what Ahad had mentioned earlier. These are our show floor attractions. So he mentioned those 5 stages. We've got the 4 technology stages, 2 here on the left, 2 here on the right, and then we've got the startup stage right here in the middle. So like he was saying, attendees really can't miss any of the education. They're going to be on the exhibit floor. They're going to be able to see everything going on here. We have the startup alley right here next to the startup stage, which features innovative startup companies and their technology. We do, I believe, have a few opportunities to participate in these technology stages if you're interested, if you're not already. If that's something that you feel might be a good fit for you, please feel free to reach out to either myself or Sean or Sheila, and we can definitely get you set up. All right, so now we get into the nitty-gritty of exhibit planning. So I know that there have been some questions recently about what is and is not included with a booth. So for any standard booth that is not in Startup Alley, your booth comes with pipe and drape, as well as some additional promotion options. But as far as furniture or electric, a standard booth does not come with those items, so they'll need to be ordered separately through Freeman. As a note, if anybody on this call has a booth in the Startup Alley, your booth does come with carpet, a 6-foot table, and 2 chairs, so you will not need to order those items unless you want extra of them. I will note that carpet is required for exhibitors at this show, so you can order that through Freeman as well. They have a couple of options. And then the main aisles, just for your reference, I believe are tuxedo, and then the super aisle is going to be plum. As far as registration allotments, so booth staff or exhibitor badge allotments that you get with your booth, it's going to depend on the size of your booth. I've included the chart here on this slide, so you can kind of do the math and figure out how many badges you get with your booth. But if you're unsure or you have a question, just shoot us an email and we'd be happy to look that up for you. All right, so this just kind of details what your rights as exhibitors are when it comes to labor. And Gemma, if you're on, I wanted to kind of hand it off to you here so that you can just give a brief rundown of labor.
I believe Gemma actually noted that she had a conflict come up, so she
apologies.
will not be able to be on this call. However, I can tell you from several of you may have exhibited in California in the past, they do have fairly strict policies regarding union regulations. You have about 60 minutes to be able to set up your booth by yourselves using company employees. They do say not to use the motorized tools and things like that. So if anybody has any questions, we're happy to address them directly, but usually you can get away with setting up your 10x10s and 10x20s without any issue. Unless it's a complicated set. Pop-ups are not an issue, but if it takes you over 60 minutes or is highly complicated, then you will most likely need to use union labor. They will stop people from working after 60 minutes and require labor.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So POV unloading, this is pertaining to anybody who is bringing their own items in their own vehicle, not a company vehicle, but their own privately owned vehicle. So if you are one of those folks who will be utilizing POV unloading, there are a couple of guidelines that you'll need to follow. I've detailed a few of them here. We do have some additional details available on the website. But what you'll need to do when you arrive to San Diego, there will be a POV check-in area. You'll need to go to that area to get instructions and get your paperwork processed through Freeman. Again, I think I mentioned this before, I'm not 100% sure where that check-in will be quite yet, but I will make sure that I add this to this slide deck before we upload it on the website, just so that you can have that information. Sean, is there anything that I missed for POV that you can think of?
No, I think you're probably fine. Most of
Okay.
the exhibitors don't use the POV as much on this show, but those that are, please let us know.
Perfect. All right, so this is in regards to vehicle display. The San Diego Convention Center has a couple of different directions for us based on what type of vehicles are going to be on display. So if you are an exhibitor that's going to be bringing a vehicle for your booth, just make sure that before arrival on site, you take a look at these guidelines so that there are no surprises when you get on site, so that the fire marshal can check everything off.
So I will also throw in that with fire marshal for vehicles, is there anybody on this call, if they want to kind of do the raise your hand or chime in, that will actually be bringing a vehicle? Please let us know. You are required to notify either us or Freeman in advance, because they have to be put on the floor plan and indicated for the fire marshal. So Freeman will actually collect that information if you are bringing a vehicle. In addition, to those of you, since everybody on this call has a booth, if you are part of the e-mobility alley, or not, if you're part of the e-mobility industry, portion of the industry, we do have what's called the e-mobility alley, and that does allow for charging stations and electric vehicles and that type of stuff. So please contact us directly, and we're happy to explain more about that area as well.
Perfect. Okay, so this is just detailing the on-site exhibitor service center. While we're on site, we will have an area in the back of the hall that will be available for you guys to order anything on site that you may have missed in your pre-conference planning. So if you need a last minute table, chair, electrical outlet, telephone, internet, pretty much anything, you'll be able to come to the service desk and we can get that all straightened out for you. The service desk will be open from 8 to 5 during all setup and move out hours, with the exception of Thursday, where they'll be open from 8 to 10 because there's a late move out on Thursday. As a note, I don't think I have it in here, but I do have it on the schedule at a glance. I think it's slide 7 or 8. If you do not complete your move out by Thursday night, you are able to have your carrier check in at 8 a.m. on Friday morning, and you do have until 10 a.m. to be clear, but the exhibit hall must be clear by 10 a.m. on Friday morning. Okay, so like I said earlier, we will have an exhibit show office in Hall A, show office down on the exhibit floor. These are our hours here that you can find us during the event. We also have this QR code here, which will be available anywhere you can find it, on the website, on your Know Before You Go email, on signage on site. You will be able to scan this QR code and fill out a form. If you don't have time or you can't find us to actually come and seek us out, you can scan this QR code, fill out a quick form, and we'll actually come to you, to your booth, or meet you wherever you need us to assist you. So it'll save you time, from running around trying to track down one of us on the show floor during event days. All right, and now I'm going to hand it off to Rachel to talk a little bit about how to promote your booth before the event.
Awesome. Thank you, Chelsea. So we are doing a lot of activities to heavily promote the event across multiple different channels, but we also want to make it easy for you guys to share it with your customers and clients as well. So on the Grid Edge website, we have provided a variety of different assets that you can share with potential customers or with your database as well. So a couple different things. You'll find the branding details, including the fonts and colors and the show logo in a variety of different formats. We also have an e-signature that you can add to the bottom of your emails to show your clients that you'll be at the event. There will also be a custom HTML invite email that you can download, and this gives you the ability to send the right message at the right time, at the right people, your way, to the right people, your way. So gives you a lot of different options here. You can download the HTML, upload it into your platform, customize it however you wish, add in your promo code, which we'll go over shortly, and really get that right message out to your people the way that you want to. We also have a variety of different web banners. So you can add banners to either your website or your newsletter. These are standard or customizable, so you can add in your booth information or other details, and then social graphics so that you can add to your social accounts as well. And if you can go to the next slide. So CDS has also made it super easy to share with your customers through their platform. So once you're logged into CDS, you'll just navigate over to the Invite Customers portal on the left-hand menu, which will take you to the ways to invite your customers page with a couple different options. So here's the promo code that I mentioned before. So this will generate a promo code specifically for you, which will provide a 30% off conference registration. So it's a great way to share with your customers and make sure that they are there. And apologize, geez, for my dog barking in the background, one of the joys of working from home. So this will generate a link or just the promo code. So you can either share the promo code yourself or share the link, which has that promo code automatically added onto it. There's also this printable ticket, which when downloaded will automatically fill in details like that promo code, your company name, your booth number, all those good details. And then there's also another email marketing option here for you. So you can automatically upload a list here that can, you can then deploy an email out to them through CDS, which includes that promo code, your information, and you can customize this a little bit as well.
Rachel, I'm going to jump in real quick. For those of you that are not familiar with CDS, CDS is Convention Data Services. They provide the registration for the conference. So this, when we're talking about logging into your CDS portal, that is your badge registration portal that everybody should have a link and a password to be able to get in and register your booth staff. While you're doing that, that also gives you the tools beyond the lead retrieval tool, which is there as well. It also lets you upload and download these passes and this promo code. The promo code is automatically assigned. It's already been assigned for every company. One of the really nice features that it has, though, is if you send this code out and attendees use it to register, and then you have the opportunity in your registration portal to be able to see who has used your promo code. So if you've uploaded that list that Rachel was telling you about, where you can upload your own customer or client list, just to be clear, we never see it. It is completely private. We will not have access to it, so it's completely safe. But you can upload it, send out this personalized invitation with your promo code, and anybody that uses it to register will then, you'll be able to see that they've registered, just also try to reach out and set up appointments. Sorry for interrupting. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to get into the hub, which is a new feature this year, and I feel like it might have caused some confusion. So I am here to kind of set the record straight and kind of give you a step-by-step guide on how to fill out your profile for Grid Edge so that when attendees are browsing the website or the mobile app, your company profile can stand out. So you may, if you've exhibited in the past with IEEE at, you know, a T&D event or one of the other events, you may have been familiar with the old exhibitor portal and exhibitor listing. The platform that we use has upgraded that listing platform, so it looks a little bit different, but a lot of the functionality is the same. So what you'll want to do is, if you log in with your password to your original portal, you will see a box that says the hub. When you click on that box, you'll be taken to a landing page that will prompt you to log in. Now, the only folks that will be able to log in for the company, their own company, are the main company contact. So before, where you might be able to use a password to log, anyone can use a password to log into the exhibitor portal. This hub only allows one contact per company. So if you are the main company contact, then you will need to follow these steps. If you are not the main company contact, and you should be, then we do have a form that you can fill out to become your company's main company contact. This orange link right here houses that form. So if you need to fill that out, if you need to become your company's main contact, let us know. We'll get that situated for you. Okay, so when you are the main company contact for your company, when you get to that landing page, the first thing you're going to want to do is click on Forgot Password. That will allow you to enter your email address and then have an email sent to you so that you can set your own password for this hub. So it's no longer just the standard letters and numbers password. You'll want to set your own. Once you do that, you will be able to log in and you'll pop right onto this dashboard here, which is the second image. Once you're on this dashboard, if you click on the Exhibitor Hub tab at the top, it will take you directly into your company's exhibitor portal, where you can follow the prompts to update things like your cover photo, your logo. You can have your about info, which includes your company description, your company website, your categories, the date that your company was founded. There are a couple other fields in there that you can add as well. You can do that by clicking on the small blue edit button at the top. You'll also be able to add your contact information so that attendees can get in contact with you. And then a little bit further down below, you'll be able to add things like press releases, products, listings, things like that. And depending on your level of listing, if you have upgraded your exhibitor listing, you'll be able to add videos, additional products, additional listings, things like that. So to give you an example of a profile that is blank versus a profile that is mostly filled out, and please note that this is a test. This is our test exhibitor, so this is not real. But this is what your profile will look like when you first log in, and once you start filling out those items, you'll be able to see it start to come to life. Okay. So a couple of next steps for you, just to kind of get the ball rolling if you don't know where to start. We have a couple of upcoming deadlines here in the next couple of weeks to a month. The first and foremost one is going to be your lead retrieval advanced deadline. If you're interested in securing lead retrieval for the event and you want to save the most money you can, I would suggest securing that before the 23rd, which is tomorrow. Certificates of insurance are due on March 3rd. I will link up. We do have a web page for certificates of insurance. We have some guidelines for exhibitors to follow. Insurance is required for this event, so you will need to submit it to show management before you'll be allowed to set up your booth. March 13th is the Freeman discount deadline. So that is going to allow you to save money on things, tables, chairs, all that good stuff. And then we have a couple of other deadlines that are further down the line, but these are the most pertinent right here. Some action items for you. Register your booth staff online to make sure that you can save time on site with badge pickup. Again, order any furniture, electrical, AV through official vendors, and then arrange shipping and transport for your exhibit materials, whether you're going to be shipping to the warehouse, straight to show site, or driving a POV, that's up to you. And then, like I mentioned before, if you are interested in becoming a supporter or getting involved with any of those technology stages on the floor, let us know. We do have a couple of opportunities still available.
One other thing, just while you're talking about deadlines, don't forget
Yeah.
to make sure you've reserved your hotel rooms.
Yes,
You
thank
should
you,
have
Sean.
already received information from Connections Housing. That is our official vendor. They are doing, they're managing all of the housing reservations. So please be careful with poachers. Attendee lists and hotels are generally the two items that what we call the poachers or the scammers try to go after exhibitors the most. Attendee list, CDS is the only company that can help you with attendee lists. And also they do have an e-blast option where you can purchase an e-blast to be sent out through the system. We do not release, with all the new spam laws and everything, we do not allow or sell email lists, but you are able to purchase an e-blast that is sent out through CDS. But all of those emails that say, are you interested in, and then insert show name here, those are not legitimate. They are typically just people trying to sell database lists that they have scrubbed from the internet that may or may not have anything to do with our industry. And then Connections Housing is our official hotel block.
Perfect. All right, with that, I will open the floor up to any questions. And Sean, I cannot see the participants, so if anyone is raising their hand.
I'm not seeing any hands being raised. Feel free to unmute yourself. We have one question currently, since you're sharing your screen. I don't know if you're able to, but the one question is the hub available, and she's not seeing the link online. So I was just going to grab that and drop that into the chat as well. But if you can grab that link.
Yes, I can.
That would work as well.
Give me one moment. And I believe for the person asking that question, if you are on the Grid Edge website in the exhibitors section, if you look all the way over on the right-hand side of the navigation bar, there should be something that says quick links. And it should be, it's called Exhibitor Hub right under quick links. But I will also pull up.
I just posted into chat as well. So it should be in the chat.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, perfect. Well, if you think of anything between now and the next webinar or anything like that, feel free to shoot us an email. Our email address is gridedge@cemllc.com, or you can give us a call. Phone number is 972-521-9902. And all that is also posted on the website as well.
We hope you found it. We hope you found this helpful. Like she said, we are all here to help. We want to make this inaugural event a success for everyone, and we are here to do whatever we can to assist with that.
Absolutely. Thanks so much,
We will
everyone.
hang out for a little bit, not close out the meeting, so you're welcome to stay on and ask any questions if you prefer a little bit more privacy. But other than that, we are around. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.